What's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the words changing education? For a lot of teachers, it's another policy that they have to abide by or else. Yet, with more and more jobs lost to automation, the need for change has never been greater. In this video, we interview the co-founder of BETT to learn strategies that have worked to get buy-in for changing education. I'm Dr. E.T., and this is Ed on EdTech. There's no better place to learn about changing education than the biggest EdTech conference in the world. I'm here in London, England, for the British Educational Technology Trade Show. More than 34,000 educators every single year. And I'm doing a lot of presentations during this. I thought I was originally doing 7. Turns out I'm doing 9. Our partner Sahara had invited me to present on the 4th industrial curriculum using NUITEQ Snowflake on their Clever Touch interactive displays. I was honored to have the opportunity to connect with one of the founders of BETT and the Education World Forum, Dominic Savage OBE. I wanted to learn about the spark that created these conferences.
BETT started in 1985, just in 2 floors of the Barbican Exhibition Centre. And I think we had 105 exhibitors that first year. And what are we this year? 800 and something. 1980s, we talked about computer teachers. Now, thank heavens, we've got to talking about teachers who all use technology. 2003. We had a Secretary of State, Charles Clark, who loved BETT and, like me, felt there should be a greater international perspective, and he felt that we could invite some of his peer ministers from around the world and let's have a day or so of debate before we brought them to BETT. And that was the starting point. 2004, 14 ministers came to London. And here we are this year, it's well over 100.
Dominic shared some of the common challenges facing most ministries of education.
A lot of the employment that is provided requires very, very basic skills. And the jobs associated with that are going to, well, probably go away. How do you actually change the teaching profession? Building confidence within the teachers, which in turn builds a credibility for them to be trusted and empowered by the ministry. You have to find the way of marrying together these needs for basic math, language skills, and the creativity that education must always also try and foster. By the time children get to the age of 9 or 10, if we've straitjacketed them too much, we've crushed the creativity out of them. The leadership that is provided by somebody who is good, but who lets everyone know that they too are having to learn something new every day.
Mindset is key to any change in education. If teachers feel that this change is being done to them as opposed to for them, then they'll resist it, and it will be hard for any policy to succeed. There needs to be room for creativity in any policy, so that student and teacher interests can be the foundation of how we educate. Dominic sees a strong role of technology in measuring engagement.
It's an incredibly powerful and real-time way of a teacher knowing whether their lesson A is going well anyway. Are they all engaged or are they all asleep? Or whether I've got problem over here.
Technology has a role to play in making the invisible thoughts and emotions of the learner visible. This is one of the reasons why I like using polls and graded lesson activities in Snow.Live, as they give a quick survey of the areas of misunderstanding in real time. Teachers who use technology need a community that they can turn to when it comes to best practices. And I was delighted to connect with Sophie, the founder and host of the EdTech podcast.
Yeah, so back in the day I used to work as the head of content for BETT, and before that 10 years in tech events. So our mission is to improve the dialogue between ed and tech for better innovation and impact. But we have about 2,000 downloads a week from 145 countries. Top 3 are UK, US and Australia. Sometimes the US goes into the first, and then the lady next to me is from Wales and she listens to the podcast, and I've been in Dubai and the guys from Venezuela listen to the podcast. So we've had head teachers in South Korea connect with schools in London and send their teachers here because they've heard about that particular school's practice. The best thing about events like this is the conversations that you have. So bumping into one another, having these types of chats. So, cool.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
I've seen a single champion teacher change the education for an entire school, district, city, and country. You might be thinking about becoming a champion or coach. If you're looking to connect with a community of coaches, reach out to me in the chat. I'd love to connect you with the EdTech coaches in our global content department at NUITEQ. My channel is about equipping champions for the 4th industrial curriculum. Please subscribe if you're interested in practical tips for developing the skills needed for future jobs. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.